Hello, Ophiuchus. So if you're new to my channel and you're not sure what Ophiuchus is, let me explain a little bit. I do put the sun sign dates in the title because a lot of people might not realize that Ophiuchus even exists. So what it is it's the 13th Zodiac sign. And I started to learn about it, not long ago, like less than a year ago, I would say. And I might have heard it in passing before that, but it never stuck. And so about a year ago, less than, I started to, it kind of planted a seed, and then I couldn't stop thinking about it. And so I looked it up, and we are, think of it this way, we have 13 moon cycles, but we are on a 12-month timing cycle for our planet. That doesn't really make any sense. And when I realized that alone, seriously, I know there are a lot of naysayers out there about the 13th sign. I get it. NASA came down with their bullshit story about why it's just astronomy and not astrology. Seriously, NASA is not woo-woo, you guys. NASA is not supportive of astrology. So just know that. And so I didn't put any stock in that anyway. And it just resonated with me. And when I started to look it up, so I have a son, a teenager who's Sagittarius, was born under Sagittarius. When I started reading to him and the traits and characteristics and energy of Ophiuchus, we were both blown away. He is Ophiuchus, just hands down. And, you know, Ophiuchus is another fire sign. It's actually ether, which it would be, you know, then there would be 3 earth, 3 air, 3 water, 3 fire, 1 ether, or 4 fire. It has been said to be, depending on who you listen to, I've heard both. Laura Eisenhower had mentioned that it's ether. I trust her. I trust her judgment. She is an astrologer. And so I absolutely trust her judgment. And I liked it that it was ether. And it made a hell of a lot more sense to both of us when my son and I were looking at that. And so then I looked, okay, what would happen with me, right? I was born under Capricorn. I was born on Christmas Day. And I looked and I would shift to Sagittarius. And when I started reading, and I will tell you, I have resonated with Capricorn in the past. But what I think I was resonating with was my outward appearance to the world, right? And that's what the sun sign does, is how, I believe so, correct me if I'm wrong, but how people perceive you. That's what your sun sign is, okay? And I had resonated with Capricorn. Well, I would be kind of on the cusp, so it kind of makes sense if I resonate with a little bit with Capricorn. But it's, well, maybe I'm not, I don't know. But, you know, it's the next sign. So you're going to bleed over, you're going to have overlap. So I'm reading Sagittarius and I'm going, holy shit, that's me. So, and then my husband, even who was born under Aquarius, would now be Capricorn. He's been watching Capricorn card readings because he is resonating with it so strongly. And when we read it, and, you know, reading Aquarius too, I'd read it to him and I'm like, nothing against my husband, but the Aquarians they're the innovators, they're the inventors, they bring the new ideas, and that's just not him. And so when he started looking at Capricorn, we were like, geez, this is big. And so I wanted to incorporate that into my channel from the start, from day one. And so while I'm not going to, you know, recommend that you change your sun sign, if you resonate with Ophiuchus in any way, you know, for any reason, then you might want to watch these readings. And so I'm not going to, you know, someday maybe if we embrace this 13 month timing cycle, then I will actually put the sun signs in for every sign in the title. I might put the sun sign dates adjusted for Ophiuchus. But for right now, if you were born under a sign, whether you would change or not, if Ophiuchus becomes a thing, watch the sign that you're pulled to, okay? And then go ahead and, you know, watch your sun, moon, rising, Venus. That's very important. A lot of readers say sun, moon, rising. I do think Venus, wrapping Venus into that is important. I feel like each one is 25% of the whole you, and the Venus, and of course the whole chart is the whole you, but the Venus is your relationships. And I think that's just really important. How you respond to other people, how you cultivate relationships, everything, okay? So watch your sun, moon, rising, and Venus. Even if you watch Ophiuchus and think that, hey, I think maybe my sun sign's Ophiuchus, and you've done your chart with your normal sun sign, because you can't do it with Ophiuchus yet. There's nothing out there that I found, no calculator yet that I found. And I want to look into it more. And I'm not an astrologer, so I do not have the ability to create something, but I want to start asking the questions, and maybe even my friend Laura Eisenhower can create something that would kind of reflow the charts, if you with the new dates. But, even if you resonate with Ophiuchus as your sun sign, you're not going to know, obviously, if it's your moon, rising, or Venus, because we don't have a way to flow that chart yet. So just watch Ophiuchus as your sun sign and watch your otherwise moon, rising, and Venus. I think that's fine. I think any reading you're pulled to watch. I was watching, I forget what I was watching. I was watching a Taurus. I was watching a reading and then I was doing something and I let it play to the next one and it was Taurus or Aries or something. I don't have hardly any of either one of those in my chart. And I remember halfway through going, wow, this is really resonating. And then I remembered that it was Taurus. And I'm like, well, I'm not even Taurus. So it's whatever you are pulled to, you guys. Okay, so let's get going because I'm trying to keep these under an hour. I'm going to start with this deck, my favorite Sacred Traveler deck. And we're going to get the early July, mid-July, late July. But what happened with Sagittarius already is right away we got full moon. And I took it as meaning full moon this month, that the energies are already amping up, that we're coming out. So very possibly the energies are already amping up to this full moon, which is going to be the beginning of the cycle. And if you think about it, that makes sense. So full moon to full moon. That's what we got with Sagittarius. So, but Ophiuchus, let's see what messages we get for you for July 2021. For anyone who resonates with the sign of Ophiuchus in any way, let's get an early July, mid-July, late July, essentially a past, present, future, but we're going to focus around the energy of the month of July on the calendar. So give me some good, let's do it. Awesome. Okay. Awesome. You got the cover card for your present, for your mid-July. So let's set that there. Okay. So early July, yeah, that's what I did. Early July is embracing enthusiasm. Shout to the heavens with happiness. So you're going to be feeling really good early July. And I feel like this incoming full moon energies is really going to amp you up in a good way. Whereas before, maybe that sensation of all this energy coming in would have bothered you, would have upset you, would have hurt you. This time you're going to be feeling like the motivation with it. You're going to be like, yes, like I love this. Full moon energy is amazing. And I do believe you're going to up level. And I don't know about you guys, but whenever I'm shaking the table. I'm at an Airbnb in this little rickety table. But when I up level, when I have a breakthrough, and let's say a good example is then I go get in the car. Let's say I have to go somewhere. And I've just recently experienced a breakthrough. And this is my first time back in the car. When I turn the car on, the dash, the display is so crisp and clear, it almost hurts. That's how I know that I've up leveled. Okay. So I don't know about you guys, but that's what's coming through is you're going to be seeing the world through these really crisp, clear lens, like the veil has been removed even more from your vision. Okay. And you're going to be seeing it from almost a childlike wonder. Like, look at her face. And she's looking at butterflies like she's never seen a butterfly before. That's how I want you to look at the world. And that's what's coming through Ophiuchus. That's what embracing. You're going to be just feeling this amazing surge of energy and just life force. And you're going to be totally down with it. Okay. So we'll delve into that more. We're going to get more clarification. So here's the cover. The cover picture is surrendering to the journey, release control. And so you're going to be going through, it's all cycles, and Sagittarius got this too, although they're not quite in sync with you guys. But this beautiful, you're going to up level. You're probably up leveling now if you haven't already, coming into this full moon this month. June 24th is the full moon, and it's July 24th. This is the cycle we're looking at. I should probably just focus on that. You guys are my second reading, so sometimes it takes me a few to get into the groove of the whole month. And so I feel like that's what I'm going to focus on, is not just July, but it's going to be full moon to full moon. And so, yeah, coming into this energy, you're going to be really connecting with your inner child. You're going to be seeing the world through these kind of eyes of wonderment and curiosity and magic. And I want you to embrace that, embrace it, embracing enthusiasm. And then you're going to come to the kind of the next hurdle, right? Mid-July, between the two full moons, okay? So mid-July, early to mid-July, you're going to be asked to release control in a big way. Okay. Something big is going to come through. I'm not saying big as in devastating. I'm just saying big as in a huge opportunity for healing. Okay. So the more you surrender And I love how they have surrender and release in one card. Like that's seriously, that's a double whammy. You are really going to be asked to let go. So something's going to come up after you've had this amazing period where you're like, oh my God, look at the butterflies, look at how beautiful the world is, look at that lake, look at those mountains, whatever, wherever you live. Everything's going to look amazing and beautiful to you, and you're just going to feel so good. And not that you'll stop feeling good, but you're going to come to the next kind of, the next breakthrough. Okay. So, and it's not as, I love this look at this little guy. He's just, our guides are always there, even if we're not looking at them. Like, look, she's not looking at him, but she knows he's there. She knows he's there. I do love how there's this full moon. Hello, there's the full moon right there. I do love how there's this castle back there, that she's not going that way either. So there's this kind of reality. I feel like even though it's not like right behind her, this is really speaking to this old thing that you're letting go of. Okay, so you're going to be asked to let go of something foundational, some foundational belief that has held you to the 3D, okay? And you're going to be asked to surrender to the journey, because I'm telling you, it's do or die time in July. Do or die. The universe will rip it from your hands if you don't let go. And it'll work. You will move forward, but it's going to hurt more. So the more you can set the intention to surrender and release control, just let go. If you find yourself holding on to something, right? You're holding on to something so tightly, and you're doing it because you're starting to get triggered really easily. You're starting to lash out at people. You're starting to just kind of be rude and grumpy. You're holding on to something that's trying to go. Okay. And it's ready to go, but there's part of you that's like, well, I'm really used to that being here. Like, I'm really used to that heavy weight. I don't want to let that go, because who will I be without it? How will I stay grounded to this reality without this cannonball that's holding me down? Okay. So it's time for you to trust that your guides are always there, even if we can't see them, even if we're not paying any attention to them. They don't love that, but they're like, hey, they get it. It's part of the journey. You're going to be asked to let go of something that you once thought you absolutely needed, and maybe even once thought was luxury. Okay. I'm not getting a ton of like not necessarily materialistic, because we're allowed, you guys, I cannot stress this enough. We're allowed to have nice things as light workers. It is gone are the days of the disciples having to walk away from everything and go to Jesus with just the clothes on their back. We don't have to do that anymore. Okay. We are allowed to have pretty things. We are allowed to have nice houses. We're allowed to have nice cars. We're allowed. So it's not necessarily materialistic stuff that you're getting rid of, but it's almost like an entire, well, it's a belief system. It's something that's holding you to 3D. Like, I'm trying to get a vector if I can. I know it's a collective reading, but give me something that maybe will be the majority of the people that are listening. Will be the case for most of them. It's definitely very foundational. You're setting sail on kind of uncharted waters, the unknown. You're leaving all of this solid footing behind. So it's like something is going to be pulled out from under you that's going to make you feel like you are completely lost and floating in space without any anchor. So what will it be? It could be job. It could be, what I'm feeling is I'm actually feeling for some of you, it's going to be threefold. It's going to be job, home, relationship are all going to go. I don't want you to be afraid of this. I know there are some of you going, thank God. Thank God. Okay. I don't want you to be nervous about it, because it's for your highest good, I promise. Now, not all of you. Don't want anybody to freak out. If it resonates with you, If it scares you, it's probably not your message, okay? I'm not here to scare you. If it's something frightens you that I say, it's not for you, chances are, okay? Now you gotta go in and discern, okay, am I terrified, or am I just triggered, or am I just a little nervous and, whatever. Because I guess terror can, but chances are, if it feels wrong, it's not for you, okay? And so, yeah, that's what I was trying to get to, I think, was the threefold. Yeah, for some of you, it's going to be, you're going to feel like you've lost everything, okay? Think of it as a restart. You have a clean slate now to start over the way you want, the way you always wanted to. Even if it means living in your parents' basement for a little while. I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're 65. If you have to live in your parents' basement for a little while before you figure out your footing, do it. Okay. Seriously, we've got to start accepting help. And on the flip side, if you are moving in with your parents, from your parents' perspective, we've got to start being there for each other. Like for my kids, I have 4, and me and my husband both have always made them believe that they could always come back to us. They always have a home with us, no matter what they're going through. Okay. We've had, one of our kids has been through a lot the last 2 years. That's all I'm going to say. He's been through a lot, and he needed that strong foundation of home for a while. Okay. And we totally that's what we're here for. I don't understand. I'm not judging. Maybe I am a little bit, but I don't understand the parents who don't operate like that. You guys, we brought them into the world. They turn 18 and we kick them out. That's not how it works, right? Like we're not in the 5D sense of energetic evolution. We are not responsible for them. But why wouldn't you want to give them a soft place to fall? Sorry, I keep shaking the table. You're going to get a little seasick watching this video. So anyway, I want to move on because I don't want this I could rant all day. But anyway, I'm going to leave that. That is mid-June, early mid-June, between the 2 full moons. July. Late July up to the full moon, July 24th. In the flow, everything is smooth sailing. So look at this beautiful sandwich you have going on. Like you have... Okay, I don't know which way it is for you, but I'm doing my best. So you start out feeling really good and childlike, and the world looks beautiful, and you've up-leveled, and everything is crisp and clear, and maybe you're seeing dragonflies. Those are fairies, you guys. Maybe you're seeing things, and then nothing's there. Fairies, the veil is gone. It's just our individual sight now that we're working on, our baggage still that we're not ready to see. You guys, when I really think about it, like the times where I've been walking in the woods, which is my favorite place to walk, and I think I just want to see a fairy today. When I had a guide come in, probably a fairy guide. I don't know for sure, but I had a voice in my head go, "Are you really ready?" And when I really thought about it, if I saw what I knew to be a fairy, not just a dragonfly or, a little shadow or whatever, I think I would probably freak. So I would be so, I'm just not there yet. Okay. But you've got this beautiful sandwich of beautiful, a little challenge, beautiful. Okay. So do not worry, because by the full moon on July 24th, you are going to be, I love how this looks like Santa's sleigh. It's so lovely, even though she's sitting, I don't know why she's sitting there by herself. Like there's clearly space next to her I've just actually noticed that. And she's all warm and toasty and she's smiling. And I don't know what's pulling the sleigh. It's a mystery, but it's definitely very Santa-like. And what do you think of when you think of Santa and Christmas? You guys, I was born on Christmas Day, so Santa makes me happy. I get it. There's a lot of, the religious aspect of Christmas is a bunch of lies, but the secular Christmas is my jam. Like, I just love it. I think people are nicer to each other. I think the atmosphere is just nicer, more community minded. I love Christmas time. And so I'm trying to get a gauge. There's 2 lamps hanging just to make sure her way is lit. So very, very much guides, like they're always in front of you, lighting the path. Sometimes we have our eyes closed and that's what, let me see. She's little teeny tiny, but it looks like her eyes are closed, but she's smiling. So sometimes we have our eyes closed because we're scared. Sometimes we have our eyes closed because we're totally trusting the path in front of us. And that's what's going on. And guess what? She has space there for a companion. For those of you who don't have a companion, you have space. What that tells me is you are, by full moon, July 24th, you are going to be open and ready to fill that seat. Okay? Because there's space there. She's ready for her divine partner to show up and sit next to her and enjoy the ride with her. Because you're going to be so in the flow, just riding the waves, just sitting in the sleigh and letting the reindeer do the work and letting your guides, light the way, you are going to be open and ready for a partner to show up. Okay. So I think that's a cool message. Okay. Let's get clarification. Yeah. I'm going to do the fairy. Am I going to do the fairy? I think. No. No, never mind. I'm going to do this. So next we're going to move to the Mythic Oracle deck. We're going to get 2 cards for each, 2 clarification cards for each, and then we'll get a wrap-up card, and then we're going to do an animal spirit guide, which is just, I was pulled to do for July, so we'll see. All right, so let's please get some expansion and clarification for each of these rows for Ophiuchus for July. For full moon to full moon, June 24th to July 24th. In the highest good of all who resonate with Ophiuchus. Ooh, oh my gosh, you guys. So the first 2 cards that came out also came out for Sagittarius, which I think is fascinating. These 2, whoop, I'm not sure which way you're, I don't know. 29 and 30, which is amazing. Forward movement. This is, again, coming up to this full moon this month, right? June 24th. So you got Persephone, Hades' wife, right? Awakening. That's what we do. That's what we're doing. And Dionysus, freedom. So that's perfect coming into the surrendering to the journey, because you're going to have this amazing sense of freedom right before you come in, right before you're faced with the next challenge. And we need to be there, right? We need to be in these places. Like, I don't want you to think, oh God, like, can I not get a break? You're getting a break at the beginning and the end. Okay, 2/3 of this reading is a break where you're going to feel really good. Okay, this is the challenging part right in the middle. It's a sandwich. Okay, so Persephone awakening coming through, embracing enthusiasm, shout to the heavens with that. She's looking, right? She's looking at the world with childlike enthusiasm. She's seeing through the veil. She's seeing the fairy world. I want to see, she looks like, so she reminds me of, it's a very different message coming through than what came through for Sagittarius. She reminds me of that white fairy queen in Lord of the Rings. Kate, what's her face? Blanchett played her. That's what she reminds me of. And so remember, her character, they're very good. They're very benevolent, right? They're very benevolent people. And she doesn't want to touch the ring. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I'll give you a quick synopsis. They go to them for protection while they're traveling to take the ring to destroy it, right? And they beg her to take it because they think that she's like in this, you know, she could handle it. And she refuses to touch it. But just being in the presence of it tempts her to the point where she almost completely breaks. Like, she's got this red fiery light around her, and they don't know what's going on. And then she is able to resist the temptation, and it goes away. It's like she had a huge breakthrough. She had a huge releasing, a huge purging, thanks to the trigger that ring offered her. And so that's what I'm seeing is this. So the trigger is going to become, you're going to start, right, amping up to the June 24th. You're just going to be feeling, and I feel like this is after the full moon, like the 25th on. And then you're going to get a trigger come in. And it's going to be, I feel like it's going to come in, like, again, remember, this is forward movement, 29 to 30. But I feel like it's going to come in. And at first, it's going to look like a beautiful thing coming into your life. Not necessarily a person, okay? But you're going to be like, oh, wow, this is cool. I'm going to allow this into my life, whatever it is. And then you're going to realize it's not. It's only here temporarily because it's here to trigger you. It's here to force you, to push you, to give you the opportunity to grow, to get to the next level. Okay. So, yeah, so you're going to be tempted. You're going to be tempted to maybe go I don't want to say go backwards, because we can never move backwards, you guys, I promise you. At this point, you can make what we would consider a bad decision and you're still going to get there. It's just a little detour. It's not, it's just, you're just choosing the long way around. It's no big deal. But I want you to notice, if you can see, there's a beautiful path here laid out, and there's a very well lit doorway. It's beautiful, where she's going. And so even though it's a trigger, even though it's a temptation, it's still leading you down your path. It's still moving you forward. It's still taking you in the right direction. Okay. But the thing is to see something, whatever comes in, see it as an opportunity to move past that which is old energy. This is going to be a temptation that's going to come in that is going to offer you something that may look really amazing, feel really amazing, but that it's going to be low vibe, that it's not good for you, that whatever it's, you don't really, on some level, you're going to know that you're better off without it, even though it looks amazing. Okay. So if that makes sense. And then forward movement, we've moved from Persephone. And again, remember Hades' wife, too huge, like darkness being purged, right? Just this, and again, I don't feel like, although she's got a full moon on her card again, I don't feel like it's going to be necessarily, it's not going to be devastating, you guys, but it's going to be something that is going to help you purge some darkness from your energy. And then you're going to be in a place where you are going to, I call this energy that I'm getting from this card, I call it the desert sometimes, because it's between breakthroughs. It is, kind of where you're in kind of this Zen void, center, balanced, you're just kind of calm and just here, and you're able to be easily, more easily than you were before. And he's like honoring Gaia. He's doing some ceremony on his knees where he's honoring Gaia, or he's honoring his path, actually, is what I'm getting. He is honoring his guides. He's honoring his choices. He's honoring good and bad. He's honoring his soul's journey here. Okay. So you're going to be in a place of gratitude. I feel like freedom. It says freedom. I'm telling you, nothing puts you in a space of freedom more than gratitude. Okay. So you're going to be full of gratitude. And then you go into this, right? Into this next thing. So you're going to, I get it. I know. Let's get the story here. I like to see the story flow. So childlike wonder, then something beautiful is going to come in, but you're going to be like, it's going to come complete with all the red flags, you guys. So it could be a person, it could be a job, it could be a new house, new car. It could be some sort of opportunity that looks too good to be true. And sometimes they are. Now, it's not that it's not true. You could take it, you could jump on it. It's not good for you. Okay. It's not good for you. It's not meant to be for you. And so Dionysus, this beautiful half-naked man, he's ushering in then this calm after, like, if you remember, well, if you've seen the movie, once she resists the temptation and she realizes, she even says something about she passed the test, right? Oh, she passed the test that the universe gave her, where she was able to resist taking the ring because she was in such a position of power already in her community, right? Because she's like the queen of the elves or whatever, the woodland elves. If she had taken the ring, it would have given her, they think initially, oh, it's going to give me all this power to help. And really it corrupted. That's all it did. That's what the ring was made for, was to corrupt with power. Okay. Now, really, I mean, that's one of the issues I have with that story is the ring is just energy, just like anything. It's what you do with it, but it came with kind of an energy of corruption. And so once you, and I do feel like it maybe even if you choose this beautiful thing that's beautiful on the outside, you're going to have to, like, you're being asked to surrender or compromise some of your morals, some of your beliefs that you don't want to compromise. Okay. So, but you're going to think about it. And then you're going to resist the temptation. And then you're going to be in that calming gratitude space where you're like, oh, thank God I saw that in time. Thank God I dodged that bullet. I'm going to give thanks to everything and everybody who helped me through that. I'm going to honor Gaia. I'm going to honor my soul. I'm going to honor my journey. And I'm just going to be in gratitude as much as I can. Okay. So that's because, again, 29 and 30, forward movement. I don't know if this is the way, or how are you seeing it? I don't know. And so then we come to this, okay, this next hurdle, which you are more than equipped to jump over. Look at this watery, beautiful watery card. Number 18, Poseidon, Earth Shaker. Okay, so this is a huge emotional purge coming. You are going to be ready for it, okay? Because you're going to have set this foundation of gratitude before you hit the wall, okay? Because you're not going to hit the wall. You're going to break right through it. And the floodgates open and the emotions will be purged. You're going to, a huge part of this journey is coming into true emotional maturity, okay? And a lot of us have no idea what that means. We might think we're emotionally mature, but we're, seriously, as long as you're getting triggered by other people, you are still working on emotional maturity. Okay. So let me see what Poseidon has, but Earthshaker, like Poseidon is on your side, but this is a huge kind of, I don't want to say chaotic, but it's a huge shifting of this stuff at the bottom of the ocean. Like this is the deep, dark stuff at the bottom of your energy, in the deepest, darkest parts that you're going to be dredging up out of the depths and releasing. Okay. And so I want you to see Helen of Troy beauty. Because you worked on this foundation, you're going to be able to see this process, even though it might suck a little bit. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel emotional upheaval. Okay. But you're going to be able to see it as a beautiful thing, and you're going to be able to welcome it. And that's going to make it 10 times easier, you guys, I promise. I don't want this to scare you that, oh God, it's not like this is a 6-month thing, a couple days. Okay. Can you handle that? Yes, you can. Couple days, you got this. Okay. Poseidon is helping. I know you're like, oh, fuck Poseidon. He's helping by dredging up all that stuff, because you're going to be able to look at it and go, oh my God, finally this childhood trauma, this deep dark trauma, this shared trauma, this ancestral trauma, something, this past life trauma that has affected me so profoundly in this life. Thank God it's finally coming up for me to face it, for me to embrace it, for me to acknowledge it, and for me to let it go. Because I'm going to tell you one thing I tell all my clients: as long as you resent, hate, or fear something, you cannot let it go. You have to embrace it, allow it, and love it. I know that seems impossible, but I'm telling you, it's not. I was molested as a child by a neighbor. And the molester had long died by the time I came into this woo-woo world, this beautiful world that I'm in now. And I have been able to completely heal it, forgive him, and heal him. Okay, it's possible. Okay, I used to not even be able to mention it without like crying, or not even be able to mention it, and then not even be able to mention it without crying. And now I'm like, yeah, it just happened to me. It happened to me. And actually, it happened for me, to make me stronger, to remind me how sovereign and strong and what a fucking goddess I am. Okay. So you're going to be able to see that beauty. And remember, Helen of Troy was said to have been the most beautiful woman that ever walked the earth. A face that could, what was it? Launch ships. It wasn't sink ships, was it? I know they went to war over her, and I'm sure she was really annoyed. If you guys have ever seen the Legends of Tomorrow, which is a DC TV show, there goes my throat. So I need to bring this up. They do an episode, maybe even more than one episodes, with Helen of Troy, where they find Helen of Troy. And you guys, she is so annoyed by this war going on over her. She's like, what is wrong with these men? And she's just done with it. Like, she's like, I don't understand either one of them. I don't want either one of them if they're going to be like this. And it was so refreshing to me that I was like, oh, you know what? I bet that was how she reacted. Like, I can't even imagine. And she even kind of looks sort of like annoyed in like a Britney kind of way. Like, oh my God, these men, like, can I just go find some farmer? Right? Like, screw these men with power who think they can go to war over one person, and innocent people die over one person because she looks a certain way. Like, she was just done with it, right? So it's kind of funny. So it comes through as, there's a reason I brought that up, right? So what does that mean for you, Ophiuchus? What does that mean? Yeah, you're just kind of, it's not necessarily an annoyance, but it has been an annoying, nagging thing, nagging at you. You knew it was coming up to be released, but you're just done with it. You're ready to let it go. Okay, you are ready. And Poseidon is on your side, and it's 18 and 43. Let's break it down. It's 9, which is the end of a cycle. We'll take that. And 7, which is, for me anyway, it's different for everybody. I know you can look it up and get lots of different messages, but when 7s come through, I immediately think your guides are with you. Okay, because we used to, for whatever reason, when I was a teenager, whenever we would see 777, and this was long before I ever had any awareness of repeating numbers, my best friend and I would say 777, direct line to God. I don't know why. I have no idea why. It must be a religious thing. I was Catholic, she wasn't, but I remember that because that's carried through for me. As 7s comes as you are so divinely guided and protected, you have no idea. So just try to see this whole process as a beautiful period of growth for you. Okay. So let's get to the end of, like, toward the full moon in July and after. And seriously, You're back in the flow, baby. Enjoy. You're open and ready for a divine partner to show up. And look, Hestia, goddess of the home. You're ready to create a home with somebody. Like this may not be for all of you, right? For those of you who are looking, who would like a partner in this life, that is what's coming through, is you're going to be creating a home. 24/6 family. 6 is about the family, a foundation for the family. And she's literally holding the hearth. But she's not, it's interesting that she's like outside in the dark. She is the light in the darkness. This is, as you become more the light in the darkness, you attract your divine counterpart. You attract your divine partner if you decided to have one before you came. If you and this other person made this agreement. Okay? So you are both the light in the darkness, the calm in the chaos. Okay? I want to move on because this is Pontus, which actually is very, I don't know, he's very Poseidon-like to me. Number 3, I might actually look this up because he is, I've never pulled him before. The unknown. Oh my God. Okay. Okay, Ophiuchus. I probably don't have to look it up, but let me see where I can go with this story. So you are open, and whether or not it's about a divine partner, it's about you creating a new foundation. Remember how I said this was like shaking a foundation? You know, it's going to be shaking an earth shaker. You're shaking a bunch of foundations in this next moon, full moon to full moon. And then you're going to be able to, I don't want to say build more, but it's because we're not creating another false reality matrix. Well, we are kind of. We're not creating a negative false reality matrix. So this is all an illusion, right, guys? So it's all false reality if you think about it. But you're going to be creating a new foundation out of love, out of your heart, out of the new energies, okay? You will trust, and really, when we get to a certain point, we won't need a foundation at all. We're going to just trust that every step we're held. But for now, we're building a foundation in the 5D, in the crystalline grid versus the old false negative reality matrix that is now gone. So we all are kind of going through that kind of like, we feel like we're free falling because that foundation has been disintegrated, has been ripped out from under us, and it's gone, you guys. It's been deconstructed. It's gone. We are holding on to it and trying to recreate it, or the collective is. I let go of that a long time ago. But the collective, who is not quite ready to let go of 3D, and they will be very soon, whether they want to be or not, they have been perpetuating it with their own energy. Without the actual matrix existing, they have been keeping it alive because it was so familiar and safe to them, being in a prison matrix, that they want to keep it alive, but they're not going to be able to much longer, okay? And so with that gone, we each get to create the next foundation the way we want. We get to create our own reality. So that's really what you're doing, is now that you're back in the flow, open, clear, you have more clarity than ever before here, ready for a partner if you're looking, whether or not a partner comes in, or if you even need one, if you already have one. This is creating a sense of family, a sense of foundation in the new energies. And this could even be just a soul family, not necessarily romantic, okay? Or husband, wife, and kids, right? It could be anything, whatever family looks to you, okay? However family looks to you, whatever it looks like. It does not matter. You know, I always say, let everybody do their own thing as long as they're not hurting themselves or anybody else. Why are we so concerned? And so Pontus the Unknown is a perfect card to end this story, because every day we're stepping out into the unknown. And so, yes, you're creating a home, a sanctuary, right? Maybe not in the physical, but energetically, you're going to be creating a place where you feel safe, because you've been free falling for a while now. But ultimately, it's all about not being afraid of the unknown, not being afraid of the future. But I do kind of want to see what else he says. Let's just for funsies. The myth, that's what it says, right? And Pontus is the primordial embodiment of the sea. That's why it's very Poseidon-y. He is the father of the most ancient sea gods, including Nereus and Keto. I don't know these. His partner is Thalassa, spirit of the sea, and together they gave life to the fish and other sea creatures. So it's not just stepping into the unknown, but it's creating a brand new reality and life for yourself. the deconstruction of the old is coming to an end, and we are constructing now. Okay, let's see if this, okay, so this actually really does go very well with this. When we experience a life-changing transformation, which you will in this moon cycle, we return to a world that has remained the same. Okay, the 3D world might feel the same. In fact, it's going to feel even harder to be in because you will have up-leveled. Old meanings no longer hold value for us, and we feel a sense of displacement. Although this can be a very frustrating period when the regular world no longer makes sense, eventually we begin to feel new meaning in life. See the sense in things with new eyes. So you're gonna kind of come full circle. Okay, you're going to get back to that point where you're seeing the world with new eyes. Okay, and make the appropriate changes to reflect our new lives. This is the transformation taking place for you now. You are coming out of the darkness, a life-changing period, and bringing the wisdom from that period into your new life. Yes. What is healing? But keeping the wisdom and letting go of the trauma, right? Keeping the knowledge. What is wisdom? Keeping the lesson learned and letting go of the trauma. This takes time, bravery, and exploration. A new you has been born, and you must now give yourself the love and nurturing it needs to grow into its full potential. This is a period of rebirth. You may have just been through a journey that challenged and awakened you both physically and spiritually. Hells yeah, Ophiuchus, you have been through a journey. You are surfacing now from the night into the day, changed. And you must reintegrate all that you have learned into yourself and your life. That is freaking perfect. That is absolutely perfect for a wrap-up card. What I want to do now is I hope that story makes sense. What I want to do now is get my fairy deck, because we're going to use the fairy deck for the wrap-up card, Fairy Forest. It is beautiful. Let's get a beautiful wrap-up card, please, for Ophiuchus. In your highest good always. Get a beautiful wrap up to this story, a beautiful ending to this story, an overall message or a final message. And then we'll do a spirit animal because I'm really enjoying that. I might have, no, I don't know. There might be two here. It's 26, the merciful one, compassion, release, relief. Yeah. So we talked about you being in gratitude. You also are going to be really called to have compassion for yourself. I would say, and others, of course, that's always a given, but really for yourself, I feel like Ophiuchus, you're really hard on yourself. You're hard. You have trouble putting you first, but then at the same time, you feel guilty for not putting you first. So you're not putting you first, and then you're beating yourself up for not doing it, which is a twofold torture on yourself, right? And so if you look at this, I love how notice how she seems very steady and secure, and she's got that huge crown, but it is not weighing her down. It's very light, actually, but she's owning that crown. And so this is about you owning your sovereignty. This whole journey is about you releasing everybody else's shit so you can stand in your own power, in your own light, in your sovereignty, in your queenliness or kingliness, whatever you resonate with. And this pink, look at this beautiful pink of her dress and her wings. Pink comes through for me usually as unconditional love. It's huge heart energy. It's also coming through for me, for you guys, as crown energy. So it's like the crown and the heart really connecting, and that unconditional love coming through direct from source. And you're just going to be wearing it. You're just going to be emanating it. Okay. But you have to have compassion for yourself during this whole period. Okay. You are going to have most of this next full moon cycle. You're going to feel really good, Ophiuchus, I promise. Okay. Just, and allow that too. Like, I feel like, oh, okay. You have trouble feeling good as well, because you're like, when will the other shoe drop? Yeah. A little bit. Like, when's the other shoe going to drop? I feel really good today. Something's going to happen. And you know what? Something will, but it doesn't mean it has to shake you out of that feel good energy. You can still feel amazing and process a bunch of shit. Okay. Because you can feel amazing whether you're out with friends, partying, dancing, whatever. There goes my throat. And you can feel amazing while you're napping, taking a bath, reading a book, sitting out in nature, and taking time for you. Okay, those are both really good energies that neither one of them has to take you out of, that feel good, that kind of childlike wonderment, that amazing space. Okay. And since you're going to be really building this, I mean, this is at the beginning, early July, early July, you're going to be in that freedom of gratitude. You're building a foundation. And you know what? He's even kneeling. If you look, if you can tell, it's grass all around him, just wild grass, but he's kneeling on a little patch of clover. And so it's almost like he found this little patch of clover. Oh, you're different from just the regular grass. That's my new foundation that I'm going to start to cultivate. And it's little, it's just big enough for him to kneel in. But then when you get here, that gratitude, that beginning, that honoring that new life that you're creating is really going to come to fruition here when you're building that new foundation, when you're really expanding on it. You're making a bigger patch of clover, a much bigger patch of clover. And so this is a beautiful, and 8, if we break it down, it's 26, which is 8, which is infinity, which is, you know, this is a process always and forever. We're never going to be done. You know, people say, oh, I can't wait till I can stop, you know, with the dark nights of the soul. And yeah, the dark nights of the soul, like that, we gave it that term for when we were new at it and it sucked big time. And we get better at it and it gets less intense and less traumatic and actually becomes this place of, okay, good. I know, yes, like let's dig in and heal because I know I'm going to feel so much better on the other side of this. And so, yeah, there will still be challenging times, but we're not going to think of them as dark nights of the soul or tower moments or even really purging. Purging is such a visceral, physical word to me. It always makes me think of vomiting. It's like not all of the growth periods have to be like that, okay? So unconditional love, be compassionate. Overall, just treat yourself with compassion. You're going through a lot, but you're going to feel good most of the time, okay? I think that's important to note. Okay, let's get an animal spirit guide, and then we will call it good. And it's this deck. It's this huge box. It's actually my teenager's deck that I stole that he doesn't know that I took. Oh, well. I meant to tell him, and then I forgot. He hasn't used it in a while, but he's an animal fanatic, and so he wanted this deck really bad. So let's just get a spirit animal for Ophiuchus for the full moon cycle of June 24th to July 24th, please. In the highest good of anyone who resonates with the sign of Ophiuchus. I'm going to take it. Oh, yeah. Okay. 2 of them came out. Same family. In card family, not necessarily. Firefly, hummingbird. Okay, so I want to take the firefly first really quick. Light in the darkness. I mean, if that's all I said about this card, that would be enough. You are becoming, if you're not already, you are already. You actually are already. We doubt, right? We doubt that, oh, am I really doing anything? Am I really helping? Like, what am I? I'm not doing anything. We are, by just being here, by the firefly just existing, and lighting up his own ass so he can see where he's going, he's making the world a better place. By healing, by lighting up your own ass, by bringing more light into your own energy, okay, you are making the world a better place. You wouldn't even actually have to you wouldn't have to have a mission except for that, where you could just enjoy life, not have to worry about, you know, a job, a career, a purpose. Well, I should say a mission, because our purpose is to be here and raise the vibration and just be in love, right? That's all we would need to do. But you are the light in the darkness. So that is just getting more and more evident to you. Okay. Other people already know this about you. You're the one that's doubting it. So this next full moon cycle is really going to bring you into awareness of how bright you really are. And that even prior, when you thought you were shining as bright as you could, that's about 1% of your full capacity, okay? You're going to have these like 2 breakthroughs, right? Two cycles of healing in this period, and you are not going to believe how bright you shine at the end, okay? So that's the firefly. Hummingbird, I love hummingbirds. I was watching 2 of them the other day from my back patio, probably a mated pair, and they were just zipping, like going boom, 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 zipping up and down. And it was so cool. And they'll come and they'll hover, and you can hear their wing. Like they're teeny tiny, but their wings sound like a motor. Like it's loud. And so, you know, even that, you know, we could talk about like the butterfly effect, even though this is a hummingbird, but it's like these little tiny things making this big impact is the message that's coming through. And again, look at the light. Not all of these, I promise you, not all of these have this like starburst around them, right? I wanted to show, of course, the couple that I pulled. Like, you know, there's like a cobra. Not all of them have this bright explosion of light behind them, like the Big Bang Theory going on. I mean, this is you, the light and the darkness. This is just, the fact that two of them came with the same message, basically, is huge confirmation that you are becoming. You're remembering who you are, remembering that you are light and love. You're remembering that you came here to raise the vibration, to help humanity heal, not by doing it for them, but by showing them how to do it, by doing it for yourself. And that is going to increase your light quotient, if you will, to use a scientific term, a bazillion fold. You can't even, like I said, you cannot even imagine. And I love how this is, I mean, they both have kind of rainbowy, but this is a very, you know, kind of pure explosion. It's got the typical explosion color. This has got rainbowy all around it. That's like the whole chakra system, a whole and complete up-leveling, a complete breakthrough in every aspect of your being. Mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, everything is evolving, okay? And you are going to go through no less than 2 gateways in this next full moon cycle, okay? Ophiuchus, Ophies, my Ophies. I hope that helped. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it resonated. I hope you took something from it. If you feel like someone else in your life could benefit, please like, share, subscribe. Let them know, you know, that if you know of anybody who might, you know, look it up. When you look it up, or I'm going to put the sun sign dates, but if you know somebody who was born on these dates and you're like, ooh, maybe they'd be interested in seeing this, chances are it'll resonate with them more than their previous sign, which would either be Scorpio or Sagittarius. Okay, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So enjoy. You guys are in for a lot of beautiful stuff. Okay, don't worry about these gateways because you've got everything you need. You're going to be building that foundation of gratitude, and you're really going to be feeling it. You're going to be feeling, okay, bring it, because you're going to be able to see the beauty in the healing process. You're really able to feel it. And you're going to be just really done, like she was done with these men. You're going to be done with the conflict that this old stuff has caused you. Okay, let go of it. And again, the more we hold on, the more it hurts. We're not going to be able to hold on to it much. It cannot exist in the new energy. It just can't anymore. And so the universe is now in the process of like I think I said, it's Sagittarius, it's do or die now, guys. Okay. And not that it's going to kill us, but it's going to hurt more if we hold on. It's time to just surrender. Where was your surrender card? Surrendering to the journey, the beginning of right in the middle of the reading, release control, surrender to the journey. Okay, Ophiuchus, have a great end of June, all of July, and I will see you for your August reading. Thank you very much for joining me.